Hey everybody, this is a video response for BAMBAM8993. He had a couple questions, so thought I'd answer them. Number one, longest trip you've ever done in one shot? Well, back in the summer of '97, my family, me, my mom, my dad, my sister, my best friend, and my sister's boyfriend, we went to Florida. And at the time we were living in Louisville, Kentucky, and we went to Destin Beach in Florida. So that was a pretty long drive. I didn't drive. I didn't have my license yet, come to think of it. Or if I did, I was still really new at driving, because I didn't get my license till I was 18, because I was scared. I was scared of driving. But I didn't have to drive at all, but it was a long trip, because we left the house at like 2 in the morning to avoid traffic and stuff, and it poured down rain, and so mom and dad were taking turns driving, but they were going really slow because of the rain, and it was dark, and it was weird. But we drove straight through until we got to Florida. We stopped at rest stops to go pee and grab some more Cokes out of the cooler and some chips out of the trunk or whatever, and yeah, that was rough though. That was a rough trip. By the time we got there, we were so tired because we couldn't sleep in the car. We tried, but it just wasn't happening. We were too excited. I had never been to Florida. I'd never seen the ocean, so it was really exciting for me. And yeah, that was a long trip. I want to say 10. It was at least 10 hours. It might have been 12. And like I said, I wasn't driving, but man, it was crazy. My parents even let my sister's boyfriend drive at one point, so that tells you how tired they got. But we were so close. By that time, we were like an hour away, and they're like, no, there's no way we're going to stay at a hotel now. We're going. We're just going to keep going. So that was the longest trip I ever went on. Unless you count, my husband was a truck driver for a while. You know, the big 18-wheel trucks. He did that for a while, and when I wasn't working, I got to go with him sometimes, and we went up northeast, like, I think the farthest northeast we got was like somewhere in Pennsylvania, and then we went all the way down to Miami in the southeast. We kind of just cut through the south, like we went through Georgia and Alabama. We cut over through Texas and Arkansas because we were heading west. We went to Nevada. We actually gambled in Vegas and won. That was the cool part, but it was at a truck stop. It hardly counts, but we're allowed to say, truthfully, we gambled in Vegas and we won. We did. We won enough to buy breakfast that day, so that was fun. That was the furthest west we went to, and I didn't go with him much after that. I got tired of traveling all the time, and that's probably a whole nother video. Back on track here. Number 2. There's only 2, thank goodness. For all you guys wondering how the hell long is this going to be. There's only 2 questions. The second one is, what's the fastest you've ever driven? Maybe 80. I'm not a risk taker when it comes to driving. And I bet you the 80 was like, I didn't realize I was going that fast until I looked, and I was like, oh crap, you know, and then I slowed down. So you kind of also wanted to know a trip, like the longest we've driven by ourselves. I've never driven that far by myself. Maybe 2 hours. That's probably the most I've driven in the car by myself. So there's your answers. I know that was longer than it should have been, but there you go. Bye, you guys.